of the Athanasius Kircher Society, as is customary, in order to begin, we are going to need a motion to bring this meeting to order. Is there such a motion on the floor? Is there a second to the motion? I'd like to call this inaugural meeting of the Athanasius Kircher Society to order. I am the secretary of this esteemed society. Since there are no minutes to read, I'd like to proceed to the next item on our agenda. Introducing Adrian Klein from Science and the Arts at the CUNY Graduate Center.
Thanks. Good evening. I'm delighted you're all here. You're at the Graduate Center of the City University of New York. The City University of New York is 18 campuses, but this is the jewel in the crown. This is the building where all the doctoral programs are located. And we're lucky enough here to have an enthusiastic Vice President for Research, Brian Schwartz, a physicist who loves the arts so much he launched a Science and the Arts program, of which I'm co-director. You will all have received this postcard, and I hope you'll look at the back of it and see the other programs we have this semester. I hope you'll join us for those events. Please call or email to reserve seats. As you know, these events are popular. And I would like you to know that several of our presenters have books written by or about them, and you can buy those books afterwards and get them signed. So please join us afterwards at a reception at which you can purchase books as well. Thanks and enjoy the evening.
Members and friends of the society, thank you all for being here. If you were a curious person visiting Rome in the latter half of the 17th century, your first stop, in all likelihood, would have been the Museum Kircherianum, an unrivaled repository of exotic wonders, strange inventions, and the rarest natural specimens. Its renowned curator and the Society's emeritus chair, the Jesuit scholar and polymath Athanasius Kircher, was a man of insatiable curiosity and staggeringly diverse intellectual passions. He was by turns an astronomer, the father of volcanology and modern Egyptology, discoverer of the germ theory of disease, inventor of the speaking trumpet, also the automatic organ, and the Aeolian harp, and the sunflower clock. He was a cryptographer, a sinologist, a musicologist, and the documenter of the Tarantella, prover that the Tower of Babel could not possibly have reached the moon, early advocate of a universal language, describer of the cat piano, and the magic lantern, author of more than 30 books, and leading collector of the age's curiosities and wonders. What is a wonder? It is something that brings us to the frontier between the known and the not yet fully known, the plausible and the implausible, the familiar and the revelatory. In an age of expediency and specialization, the goal of this meeting and the goal of our society is to re-inhabit that frontier, to perpetuate a Kircherian sensibility. Before we begin, I want to thank some of the people who made this evening possible. First of all, our sponsors, Ask.com, Make Magazine, and Science and the Arts at the CUNY Graduate Center, and especially Adrian Klein and Brian Schwartz. John Battelle and the incredible folks at Federated Media, who had the vision to make this event feasible. Brian McMullen, who created your programs. Chrissy Wright, Andrea Hendrickson and Melissa Metrick. Liam Cubbin, John Chinese, Justin Realmuto, Steve Bruckert, and Michelle Engram, all of whom put in a great deal of work to making this night possible. And last but certainly not least, Dylan Thuris, the Kircher Society Overseer of Operations, translator of Soul Ray Soul, and the man in the booth directing tonight's program. Our meetings, and I say meetings because this is the first of many, will begin with an invocation, a short reading of Kircherian prose by the parliamentarian of the Kircher Society. Princeton University historian Anthony Grafton has very generously agreed to wear that mantle tonight. Professor Grafton is an expert on the intellectual and cultural history of early modern Europe, and the author of many books, including Defenders of the Text, Bring Out Your Dead, and The Footnote, A Curious History. Professor Grafton.